welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ravin Joseph. Thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to tell you about a story about how I got to the job that I'm at now. And I just want to start first by sharing with you a recommendation that I have. This book for today is called Big Potential. For my thumbnail. Big Potential by Shawn Achor. I read this last fall and it really spoke to me. Like, I've never really paid attention to the way I interact with people at the job, like intentionally. Like, yes, I'm kind, yes, I'm supportive, but being really intentional of how I work with others in and outside of the job. So any community activities that I do, I'm very mindful now of what my intentions are. So this book I read, and if you are in leadership, I strongly recommend that you read this book. I would say this is for everybody. It is for everybody, but sometimes we go to work and people are like, oh, that's not my problem, or I'm not going in because they're not paying me enough, you know, like. And in education, that type of mentality is an epic fail. And one thing that Shawn talks about in his book is that stuck out to me is really highlighting people's strengths. And I think as a leader that it is really important to make sure that you're giving more praise than you're doing criticism your employees, because sometimes people can feel overwhelmed that they're working that hard, and then all you see is what needs to be done better. I've experienced that as well in the past with some supervisors who have focused on not only the good thing. Like, I got an evaluation one year and it had all these comments in it, and whether or not there was truth to it, I responded in an email and I put like all of the activities that I was participating in, all of the things that I did outside of the classroom that wasn't being asked of me. And like, she even apologized and was like, I didn't even realize you were so involved. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you go home and I'm still here, right? So just paying attention as an employer or a supervisor to what your employees do, like what they're interested in, what they need work on, but praise them for the efforts as well. So I think this is really good, a good community book, right? So in December, I started to apply for a new job because of some situation that I'm not going to get into. But I was really happy at the place I was because my friends were there. I knew so many people so well. And it was really sad to go. Like, my boyfriend was even there. I got to see him every day. Like, so I loved working there. I loved the kids. It was home, away from home. And so it was really hard for me to leave when it came time, right? So I want to say in December, I started looking for a job. I took a day off. I was supposed to be taking my exams for my administration license. And the same day that I took off and handed in my resumes, the same day I got a call back. But I was intentional about what I was doing. So the night before, like, I made a list of the different places that I wanted to apply for. I didn't want any horrible schools. I wanted a good setting. I wanted a place where there were veteran teachers, because a lot of the times, especially in charter, the teachers are very young. So I just wanted to be around people who could tell me or teach me more than I already knew. And so I was intentional about applying to certain schools in my community within the Department of Education. And I got a call back from this school, and it was literally not too far from my house. Like, to walk there is about 17 minutes from my house, and to drive is about 5. So, and oh my gosh, like, I was so elated to have this opportunity. I did my interview, I did my demo lesson, everything went really well, and I was so sad to leave. Like, I was hoping that, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping that certain things changed so that I wouldn't have to leave, but they didn't. So I gave my 30 days notice, and I was really excited to start at this school. And I started, and mind you, I had like literally just finished this book, like probably like a week before. So in my head, I finished it during December break, as a matter of fact. So when I started in January, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna meet these people, they're gonna help me, I'm gonna help them, like it's gonna be great. I'm going with a better mentality and all these things, like being super positive. And when I got there, it was good. It was good for the first couple of weeks. I would say the principal there was very supportive, and so was my immediate supervisor. She really wanted to make sure that I was successful. She listened when I spoke. She didn't take things personal, because I think one of the things that teachers are afraid to do is speak up, right? If I know this is not going to be effective for my population, the people that I work for, then I'm gonna say something. If I know that something is for show, please don't ask me to do it, because I don't do things for show. Like, I do things to make a change. So there were certain things that I would see and I'm just like, I don't agree with this, like why is this redundant, like, you know, I'd ask questions. And I would get a lot of pushback from colleagues about saying things like, oh, basically like you don't have tenure, basically shut up. And that's not the type of person I am. Although I'm new to a setting, I am sitting back, but I'm not critiquing everything that's being done. I'm not at all. Like, whatever is there is there. I'm there to work with it and, you know, be supportive. But if we're talking about making changes, and like I'm doing something that it's in the beginning stages, like I'm a part of building something, if we're building, then we need to like really build. Like, I'm not going to help start something that is BS. Like, if it's already there, there's nothing I could do about it. But, you know, so that was my attitude towards that. This school didn't have, that was the first year they had social studies separate from ELA. Usually the teachers taught ELA, but they had social studies content in some lessons. So students weren't getting the real social studies that they needed, curriculum that they needed. And the district finally decided that they were going to expect that these schools that had humanities and not social studies separate from ELA do that. So this was the first year, and I was super excited because it's the beginning. I know what I'm doing. I know what is expected at the high school level. So just building that program was pretty awesome. But over time, I realized that there was shade coming my way. Mind you, I didn't have any problems with anybody. So one time I was in the classroom with my advisees, and I was I asked a question? No, we were just hanging out waiting, and we were supposed to go to rehearsal for a show or something like that. And my students didn't really understand fully what the expectations for them were. So I started to tell them when I realized, wait, they don't even know what to do. Let me explain. One of my colleagues walked into the room, and like the manner in which he spoke to me, because I said, give us a second. Yeah, she kind of went off in the hallway because I said, I didn't have an attitude. I didn't say anything disrespectfully, but I was just trying to make sure that my kids were good, because they have to meet up with other students and stuff like that. So I didn't want it to be a mess. I wanted to help let them know what they were expected to do. And so one of my students noticed that reaction from this person, and the response was, Ms. J, like, do you get along with this person? Like, do you even like her? I was like, what made you ask that? He was like, oh, because she said X, Y, and Z in the hallway. And I was just like, yeah, it's interesting because I eat lunch with this person every single day. So that was my thing, was like, all right, that was definitely unnecessary, but I'm not going to say anything then at that moment. I'll speak on it later at a later time. So I don't know if we were on trips and stuff like that, but I didn't get to see the person to address it. And there was another time something similar happened, like the whole talking down to me in front of students. And so I was like, let me just check it, because maybe they don't understand who I am. Like, I'm not going to say anything in front of the kids ever. So I pulled this person to the side and I was just like, what was that all about? What's going on? And they like lashed out at me like, I don't want to talk about this, da da da. And I was just like, okay. So that was one person. I had other instances with the same attitude. And like even my other colleagues were like, yeah, this is just how it is. So I was just like, okay. So just me sitting back and just being observant of how people were treating each other in the workplace. Like even there was admin talking down to their peers, like administration, like how somebody's throwing shade at you, like they're really throwing shade at this person and they're also admin, and it's like y'all the same age, like the way you're talking down to this person is like they're stupid. Or even if they're stupid, it's embarrassing when somebody's being condescending in front of other people, especially like did you not just hear, like like the sarcasm, like I'm just like, why you behave like that? Like this is a workplace, and I never felt right with that. Like this person has to come into a meeting and sit all the way on the other side because they don't want to be near other people. Like I'm just like, yo, the way y'all talk to each other, the way y'all clicky and stuff like that, yeah, I don't think this is for me. So I just didn't like how when I said things, people would be like, basically shut up because you need tenure to speak out. That's not me. Like I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass, like at all. I'm here to help as much as I can. So that was mainly the reason why I left, was because it just seemed like that environment, if it's not from the top down, like people from the top making sure that there's a community, it's not going to work. And that's not my, it's not that it's not my job, I can't do it, I just got there. Like it has to be admin making these changes. But if admin is also the people with the behaviors that are modeling those behaviors for other people, then I can't expect much from this place. But for me, it was just like, I don't want to leave because it's right next to my house and I get out at 2:20. Before I was getting out 4:45. So it was just like, I just want to be home after work. Like literally to the point I didn't want to be around people. I would literally sit in my car. If you watched the video before, I get to work really early. But I would literally make sure I planned during work or at home, and I would sit in my car until it was time for me to teach. Like I wouldn't even go and hang out. I didn't want nobody to talk to me. Like, and I'm just like, do I want this for myself? I'm a very friendly and social person. So for me to be sitting in my car in the morning and not wanting to interact with people, either because it was too much gossip or like the cattiness or the trying to throw people under the bus, like that's just not the space for me. So I was like, let me just give it another year. Like honestly speaking, the initiatives that they were bringing along was dope. Like I would be teaching reading intervention along with social studies. Like I was really excited for that. I was really looking forward to that, working in small groups. And I'm really big on reading. Like that's why I started with books, because I love to read. And I think that especially for our community, it's really important that our kids know how to read, because when they get to high school, they're struggling. Like my experience now, it's the same thing. So that was really why I left. It's just at first I was just like, let me stay for another year. And then like over the summer, I was just hearing more and more gossip about people being careful, watch your back because this person is trying. I'm just like, yeah, like I don't move like that. I'm not a vindictive person where I gotta like snake you, or like I don't have the patience for that. I don't care for that. Like I'm about my community, so this is not for me. And like what made me really move was like just having conversations with my friends and family, and they were just, because I'm a creature of habit. Like I'm loyal. Like if I'm there, I'm there, right? So I'm like, I don't want to seem like I'm going from one school to another. Like, I'm here. Why should I leave? And like my boyfriend at the time was just like, oh, just do it. Like, just do it. You're not happy there. I can see that you're not happy. Like, just do it. So I was to the point where I didn't want to teach at one point. I was miserable. I just started to apply for different schools, and I got one. And again, when I applied, I made sure, and I was just like, well, this school was an A school, like, and these are the things that goes on. So what if I leave and it's the same thing all over again, and I'm not happy. So maybe I should just deal with this. And like, that was my mentality. But then I was just like, nah, I'm gonna pray about it. Lord, you know, please protect me, you know my situation. And I would pray about it all the time. And then I decided to start applying, and I got this call back from this job now, and I really, really love it. I'm really happy. I'm back in the high school setting. And yeah, I would say my worst, like what I don't like about the school, absolutely nothing. Like, and it's so crazy because people complain, and I'm like, if you only knew. Like, I really love my school. My principal is awesome. She's so sweet. And just her attitude, like, she's just so nice, like, and she's so supportive of even my personal, you know, goals and stuff. And like, she's just like, you can have an honest conversation with her, and she listens, you know. She's not there to like break you apart, or like how I felt at the other job. Like, you gotta watch yourself, and if you don't do something that somebody asked, if you say no, like they're gonna come for you. Like, people being voluntold to do things that they really didn't want to do. Like, I don't feel that way at all at my job. Like, the people are very supportive. If there's anything going on, I don't see it. Yeah, so I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm hoping that this is the last school that I will be at. I'm not going to say that I'm going to retire as a teacher, because I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I do know that more than likely I will not go to another school after this, because I'm very content with this space. I love the kids. They're so sweet. Yeah, and it's still in my community, which is what I really wanted. So, all right, so that is my story. Please comment below. Have you ever stayed in a toxic workspace? How long did you stay there for? And what was toxic about it? And eventually, what made you leave? If you left, or if you're still there, share that you're still there. I want to hear your story. And thank you for listening to my story. One thing I am grateful for today, I want to say I am grateful for my home. I'm grateful that I can come home and just relax. And I always say this, I know I posted this in my video, but this is my space. Like, I can do what I want with it. I'm happy here. I'm at peace here. It's all mine. I'm very grateful. It's warm, cozy. I don't know if you see me sweating a little bit right now, but yeah, I'm just happy that I have a space to call my own, and I'm happy that I'm able to, you know, pay my bills and not be struggling and stuff like that. Like, New York City is really hard to live in, you know, and financially it's hard, right? But I'm just grateful that I'm in this space, this beautiful space. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. Tune in, make sure you subscribe, comment, and also you can follow me on Instagram at Custom Made in New York. See you soon.